everybody. It's Rich 220. Oh, I see somebody's here. Who we got? Who's here? Nope, they left. That was quick. Quick in, quick out. Let's see if Pia is on. Oh, God. I gotta put some friggin' heat on in here, man. It's cold in this house. I'll be right back. So this can go over here. It's the next thing from the recycle bin. Sometimes it get ridiculous. Yeah, that girl. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Oh, it's got busy in the birthday bathroom. Okay. There we go. And I would turn that on for a little while. Get it warmed up in here because it's cold. Ooh. All right, who we got? Let's see. Welcome to live chat. I think it's supposed to be top chat. I'm trying to find out which one it is. Allow. Okay. Why did it do that? No. I don't like when this does that. It should not be doing this. Okay, let's see. Today. Who's there? Dan, is that you? Is that my brother? I think it's the other one. I don't think it's this one. Where the hell is it? Top chat. All messages are visible. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's my brother. Hey, bro. Yeah, I literally just turned it on, so just started out. P is supposed to be in here. She's the other moderator, but she might be asleep because she lives in like London, England, or something like that. She's really out there, but she tries to get into everybody's. Just tries to help out. How you doing, Dan? How's the back? I'm heating up some coffee because it's cold. I just turned the heat on, and I do have some good news. The good news is that the 57 will run. Once I put the carburetor and everything back on, it'll fire right over because of that top dead center, and it's getting oil. So all the pistons and rings and everything that I put in there, they're put together properly. The bad thing is that the 2014 Ram 1500 4x4 crew cab won't even start up. It's got a throttle body indicating light on the dash, and it will not start no matter what I do. So I'm really not happy right now. And they won't work on it at the dealership until March 11th. Isn't that nice? So I gotta play like, I'm at their every little whim, and I don't like that because the thing should still be under warranty, and it shouldn't be that much of a hassle, I want to see now. So, hey, my boss's wife, she turned around. She says, "That's fine. It's okay if I need to use the vehicle for my DOT physical and all that other jazz." But she says, once I'm done with the runs, I can't use it on weekends. So I went and picked up all my crap from Walmart. Coffee and creamer and milk and butter and everything else before I got home. Yeah. But it's kind of screwed up how they would leave me, carless, Somebody just said something. I don't know who it was, though. I have no idea. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm not going to get too pissed off about it because it's like, really, I don't go anywhere anyway. You know that. When it comes to bars or anything like that, I don't frequent that thing. I stay at home. I'm not one of those types. If I want to have something to drink, I got vodka out there, and I just, like I said, I went to Walmart and picked up my orange juice so I could have my double shot and a half and my vodka, and that'll put me to sleep later on. What? Well, it only happened yesterday, Dan. There's nothing I can do about it, Day before that, it was running. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I've had booze in here from, way back when. Just refrigerated, that's all. Oh, yeah, still got beer here for crying out loud. Oh, God. Half asleep here. It's the only problem with me doing these live streams is I'm usually like ready to go to sleep, you know? Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? What's going on? Say hi to my brother, Dan. That's my brother, my real brother. So what's going on with you, Steve? Anything new? I'd give you a little tidbit of what happened here. I actually got the 57 set on top dead center, and all the rocker arms and the push rods are, they're getting oil up top. So all the orifices inside the engine are actually filled with oil like they're supposed to be. And then all I got to do is hook up I got to get some of those, what the hell they call it, helicoils, so I can put the carburetor back into the intake, because I'm not changing that intake. And then put the radiator back on the fuel pump, and then hook up the wires from the distributor. That should be it. It's too cold up here for that. Jersey, it's still freezing. He's got a car show tomorrow. Maybe that's where he's going, He came back. He's still out here. I'm sorry about the yawning. I've been driving all day. I've been out since 5:45 this morning, and I got done at 4:30. So I do at least 220 miles a day driving school kids. I can't wait to get that 57 started. I'll tell you, man. If tomorrow's as good of a day that they're saying it's going to be, I'm going to be out there all day. I'm going to try and get as much as I can finished up on it. So the only thing I won't be able to do tomorrow, I won't be able to do until the weekday, will be the carburetor, getting the helicoil. Because my brand new truck is sitting in the driveway and it won't start because it's actually got a throttle control issue. So it cranks, but it won't kick over. And I'll tell you another reason why. When somebody did the throttle job on not the throttle job, the valve job alignment on the pickup truck, those little red clips that you're supposed to have with the plugins, in other words, it won't register if it's not there. Well, they took one out of, there's like a stem that goes into the tubing itself, and they took the actual red clip off. So, yeah, I think they're going to try and sucker me out of some money for a little plastic clip that's supposed to be in there holding the plug in place. Did I get the belt? No, not yet. I still got to take the problem is with the harmonic balancers of 57 Chevys, the original engines, not the ones that are meant for 58, but the original 57 Chevys, the actual harmonic balancer has to be taken off, and it has to be heated up so it expands. And then you have to hurry up and get it on there, in order to get it to fit right. Now, I didn't have it heated up enough the last time I tried, but it was closer than what it was the time before that. So what I got to do is I got a wood burning stove in here. I got to get a good fire going, and then I got to put that, harmonic balancer, sit it on top on the corner somewhere and let it sit there for a while so it gets nice and hot. And then go outside and put it on the car, Then I have belts. I have a brand new belt for it. Everything on that car is brand new. The timing chain's new. The pistons that I put in are new. The rings are new. The head gaskets are new. Anything that's not new has been cleaned. Like all the push rods, they have no sludge in them. The heads have no sludge in them. I cleaned them all out. The gully that goes underneath the intake manifold where the lifters are and the push rods sit in them, that was all caked up with sludge. I have pictures on Facebook that, oh my God, man, you could see it. You could see the sludge that was in this car. And I wiped it all out by taking a paintbrush and some diesel fuel, a little bit at a time, and just brushing at it all away. You know what I mean? The heads, what I did was I cleaned, the valve springs. I cleaned the heads itself. I cleaned the valves on the other side and the heads. And then what I did was I took some very fine sandpaper and, just like cross-hatched, the heads so that way it would be smooth. But, it's not like that. You won't see the cross-hatching. It looks like a piece of shiny tinfoil, So I know that that's done. So I put the head gaskets on. It's got new intake manifold gaskets, new valve cover gaskets. All the rocker arms have been set to 0 lash, which means if you try and start it, you won't hear clankety clank, 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 clank. None of that, because your whole point in doing a valve adjustment and all that stuff is making sure that your push rod doesn't go up and down, but it spins left and right. And then after that, it's like a half turn. That's like a load. You're putting a load on it. And then just tighten everything up, put the valve covers back on and just run it. Like what you do is you go the first time around, you'll make sure everything is tightened down so that way the push rods don't go up and down. Okay, but you want to make sure it still spins. And then if you crank it, and if those push rods are on the top of the lobe or they drop down below the lobe, you got to go back around a second time to make sure they're adjusted. And then you do the half turn. Damn cigarettes, they all keep going out. So that's the point of that. Now, the distributor, apparently it's already in the right place because it's getting oil up top. It's going through the push rods and going into the rocker arms and showing the oil, sitting in the gully of the actual rocker arm. So that's set. It's just a matter of me getting, for some reason I had the cap on cockeyed and it bent the middle tab back over the other way. So I got to bend it back this way or I got to get another rotor and put that in. And then all it is just, like I said, the fuel pump, the radiator, the carburetor, the generator's already on there. My last video, it actually shows that. And the latest video, the biggest thing that I kept screwing up on was every time I took that compression tester and stuck it in the number 1 spark plug hole, I kept forgetting to release the button. So that way it restarts it down at 0. So I was getting aggravated because, I'm trying to hear the compression come out and it's too busy building up pressure to show me what's on the gauge. So it's kind of like a cat and mouse game, for a little while. I'm sitting there running back and forth trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing wrong, But ultimately, I got it. I got it to a point where I got it situated in there so I can hear it spray out the air really loud. I mean, it was so loud it literally knocked the compression tester out of the hole. So it only registered at 75 psi or 80 psi for the number 1 cylinder. But the reason why that is because I still have 2 plugs that are out on the passenger side rear, which I have to get up underneath the car in order to get them in because I just can't get my big beefy hands in there. And then the carburetor, that's it. Power Master unit got tired of rebuilding generators. Yeah, but you know what? I mean, you got to remember one thing. That's fine. He left again. He literally has bad internet connection. He'll be back. You still here, bro? It says you are, but what a Power Master. Yeah. A lot of people do that. They go with an alternator. If the car is not a numbers match, I would say, yeah. You feel squinchy? Okay. You got a turtle head poking out like a choco donkey? That plus crap. Oh, man. So I think what I'm doing is I actually made a cup of coffee or a pot of coffee this morning, and I turn it off so that way it doesn't get that nasty, burnt taste, because I can't stand that. I'll dump it out if it tastes like that. But I'm just now heating it up again, since early this morning. It's been in the pot. So it should be all right. Yeah, I kind of figured you wanted that. I feel squidgy. I got a head poking out like a choco donkey. Looks like the generator even has yes, it does. See, Steve, that's the thing. My car, regardless of what everybody says, my car is a numbers match. It has a Delco Remy tag on that. The starter has a Delco Remy tag on it. And the transmission numbers match the engine. They're the same thing. You can research the carburetor is the original. The only thing that's not original is that the oil filler tube cap. I don't know what the hell they did with that. I want to try and find an original, I don't care for the chrome crap. I repainted the Chevrolet letters on the valve covers gold because that's what they were back in 57. And the fan that's on it with the pulley, when I took the fan off on both sides, the back of the fan itself and the front of the pulley were gold, not black. So I painted them gold. And as far as the original stuff goes, like if the generator did go bad, I got a shop that's right up the street from me. I can have them rebuild it, I want to keep it all original. The starter, I can't believe the starter still works out all this time. Your Power Master, I put Delco Remy. Oh, okay. All right. A lot of people were actually telling me that there's no way that my car is the original engine. I'm like, okay, whatever. Think what you want. And you know as well as I do, Steve, a numbers match engine is worth a lot more than one that's not. Yeah, I like my cars original. Some people have their own flavor. You have some of these guys out here that they like having those cars from that time period, but they don't ever do the work on it. They send it to a garage and pay somebody $100,000 to do the work that I can do myself. You know what I'm saying? And then, they're too afraid to drive it. So what they do is they haul it around in a trailer. And then when they get to the car show, they back it up to a space. They drop the tailgate. They let the car roll out into the parking space. They take the truck and trailer somewhere else until the show's over. Then they put the car back in the trailer. It's like, how can you enjoy something like that? It's not meant to be a conversation piece. It's supposed to be something you enjoy, Go out there and drive it. Because if you don't and you let it sit, everything gets dry rotted. It all goes bad, Within reason. I'm not saying, go from like, say, New York to Florida, and just rack up the miles on it, because then you are, you're going to wear something out. You're not going to have it all there. It's getting harder and harder to find the parts for it, first of all, especially if it's the original stuff, or time period correct. And I mean, to tell you the truth, this car is before my time, so I'm not that old yet. Not that that's a bad thing, but I mean, I don't think I would have wanted to been raised up in the 50s. I'll tell you that. I saw your other video and you mentioned 283. Yeah, those weren't it. Yeah, right. They don't belong on it. No, they belong on a 65 or a 66 Impala or Bel Air or whatever it is, or Biscayne. Yeah, but for some reason, I guess somebody must have had them on there for at one point or another, because there's 2 drill holes in the fender. So what I'm going to do is, when the weather breaks, I'm just going to fill those holes back up with weld. Weld them up, grind them down, because I'm going to strip the whole car of paint and redo it again. I just bought a whole shitload of paint for it. So. Yeah, the badges that I have, they were actually in the car. They were in like some kind of antifreeze container that somebody cut out, along with a bunch of loose, like, I don't know what they could call them, shims or whatever, and rusted bolts, this, that, the other thing, and I just threw them all together, because I don't know what the hell's in there. I'm trying to look for the horn, where the horn ring is, the mechanism that goes underneath. I have the toggle switch for it. The relay switch, I mean. But I don't have the horns because somebody took them off. Everything that they took off this car was all cosmetic stuff. They didn't mess with the drivetrain, which I find rather weird. They left the seats. They left the original steering wheel. They didn't leave the horn ring or the cap that goes on the center. They took the trim off the middle of the dash where it says Bel Air. And what they did was they cut holes in the dash. So what I did was I took metal and welded back up over it, fit into the area where they are. And then I got an original piece of 57 dash trim that said Bel Air on it. The guy thought it was for 64, and after I got it, I told him it was for 57. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the thing is, the turquoise that I'm using, the paint color that I'm using, it's not the original for this car, but it is period correct. The color is. I actually have a paint chip. And the paint that I'm using, that I have for it, it's matching. It's the same color. The original color, if you want to get technical, the top was actually surf green, and the bottom was Highlander green. So, double tone green. And then, of course, the interior I have to redo over again because it's all tattered. I mean, it sat outside since 76, and it didn't run until I got it last year in January, and that's after the kid told me, oh, it don't run. It doesn't run at all. Ran for me just fine. I drove it back and forth in my driveway, The only problem is I never put any Marvel's Mystery Oil in there to make sure everything was okay, and I just ran it the way it was after putting oil in and all. And that probably is what damaged the 2 pistons to break. They separated, the top part separated from the apron, and the connecting rod was still connected to the bottom part of the apron. So it didn't mess up the cylinder walls at all, because all it did was push the top part up all the way. And then, the lower part was just going up and down, which caused no pressure or no damage. I've already checked that out. Yeah, I know, but they want a lot of money for them too, Like, I went and got 2 pieces for the fins, on the side. And those 2 top pieces, just that trim piece itself, it's like no bigger than an inch wide. and it goes to the top where it says Bel Air. Okay. Those pieces were $154 just for that. And then everything else, I just decided, well, let me, like research this and, see what I can get, which is the original stuff, OEM, but at a cheaper price. Like I found an original, radio for the car. That was $38. Okay. The horn ring with the Bel Air cap and a 210 cap was $50. What else did I get? I got the sun visors. I think I got them for 35. And the lenses for the front, they're amber. I got those for like 10. I got the OEM glass lenses for the backups for 10. And what the hell is it? I fixed the turn signal bar because somebody broke one of the lights right off, like the casing and all. And what I did was I made a brace for it in back, and then I drilled some holes because it's made of pop metal. And I put some screws right through the front into the braces into the back, and then I grinded down the ends of the screws and grinded down the heads. Let's see. What else was it there? Oh, the Chevrolet script for the front of the hood was missing. The V was missing. The V for the back was missing. And the Chevrolet script for the back was missing. And then I had to get all new door locks because they didn't have keys for it. But the ignition that's in there is the original ignition. And my key fits in there quite fine. I have a little trick that I did in order to get it to work with the new keys, even though the new keys say GM on them and they're made to look just like the 57 keys. The locks are just like the originals. You can't tell them apart. They look exactly identical. So I got the new trunk lock, new glove box lock, door locks, and, they seem to work fine. How else was it? A lot of people can't seem to find the original oil bath for that car. That oil bath was on that car. I was surprised that they didn't take that, what the hell else was it? I located some armrests for it. The fabric stuff that goes around the inside of the door framing, I found that, but it's blue. That's okay. I really don't care about that. I can use blue. I went and bought fabric for the seats and fabric for a headliner that I'm going to make from scratch, and door panels. Let's see. Carpet's already in it. It's got new carpeting on the floor. I already did that. I just got to cut out the gas pedal so that way I can get it through the carpeting. And I've already cut out the thing for the high beam switch on the floor. So that's already done. And then I got some clear plastic mats to put down like they did in the old days. Let me see what else. Oh, I got the windshield washer fluid jar, the glass one with the top with the motor in it and everything. I picked one of them up. I found that. And the car has approximately 12 hubcaps. So I don't have to worry about hubcaps falling off. So yeah, that's it's been a long, wild ride. Excuse me, doing it, but the last time I literally tore apart an engine was back in '87. I was in a school that did kind of like Votech stuff. We ripped apart cars. Our time was 1987 Pontiac Firebirds and Fieros. So we tore them down to nothing but a shell. It was like, your unibody construction was all one piece, but there was nothing left on it, That's where I got my experience from. And then, I've worked at a couple of garages throughout time, growing older. And I think the last place I worked at was bus garage. I was working with a head mechanic in there. But I know a couple people that could tell you straight out that I actually worked for them. There's a guy that my brother and I both know that I worked for. His name is Sal Alvino. He used to have a auto repair shop in a town called Riverdale, and I worked for him there for a while. And then where I'm at right now, um, I worked for a guy that his name is Tom. He's got his own garage. And one year I told him, I said I had to leave early because I was the lead car for the veterans. I had a 1950 Dodge Coronet. It was a 4-door black. And somehow along the way, the person in charge of doing the parade or whatever made my car the lead car. So, I was in the parade for that with the veterans in the back, and in the front. And then, I found out from Tom that he didn't fire me. I just never went back. So that's where that came from. Let's see. And then I've worked a couple of rinky dink places. There was a place in Wayne called Wayne Tire, or what the hell was it, Bergen Tire, or whatever the hell it was called. I worked in there for a little while until, what the hell was it? Doing an oil change on the car. And I went, put the car up on the lift because I was changing the oil, And I went to the bathroom. And when I came back, somebody had lowered the car off the lift with no oil in it and drove it out of the garage and put it over in the parking space. I'm like, what the hell? Who did that? And the guy said, well, we thought you did. I said, no, it was in the bathroom. I said, the car's up on a lift. There was a friggin' thing underneath it to catch your oil. Didn't the idiot see that? So they tried to blame me. And I said, yeah, whatever. Oh, the engine's seized. Now we got to use a breaker bar to free it up. I said, you should have checked it first before pulling it out. People are so stupid, Oh, man. Let me see. I'm going to turn that on for a little bit. Yeah, that's on. There we go. So what else have you been working on, Steve? Anything? If you guys, yeah.
Menu, home button, 1 of 8. In main menu, 80 items.
I don't know if it said 8 or 80.
In home, HDMI 1. Oh. HDMI 1R.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ugh. I wonder what happened with Pia. I haven't seen her in here yet. All right, take your time.
The kind of place you want is hard to find. There's just no demand for haunted houses anymore.
I'm going to be right back, too, bro. I'm going to grab my coffee out of the kitchen. Should be hot enough by now. Be right back. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Cheese me. Oh, yes, finally get some friggin' heat in here.
All the folks next door to this place are the Flintstones. They're very friendly people. We take it. Good. I'll chisel out a contract. Yes, Mommy. Schneider. Yes, Mommy. Why, Schneider? Or I'll have you scrunchy. That's a good boy, Gobby. We call him Gobby. His name is really Goblin. Well, that figures. Well, good luck in your new home, Mr. Gruesome. Mr. Gruesome has a real gruesome handshake.
Oh, he actually has me added on Facebook as a foreign house. Shit. Mix it in there, buddy.
I hope there are some plants in the house, Creepella. I'll start a garden. Grow our own toes.
Okay, off and off. My coffee. Got to have my coffee. Okay, I'm back. Did you get back yet, Steve? Contents hidden. What do you mean contents hidden? What the hell's that all about? I don't get what the hell that's all about. Shouldn't be doing that. A giant black widow spider. It looks like one of those blue dot candies you see on a piece of paper. Station wagon. It's a hoist. Well, let me see if Randy's on online. He usually hangs out on Facebook. That's the funny thing is, everybody I know that's online winds up hiding when I go on live. Hey, Randy, it's Rich. I'm live on YouTube if you're interested. Stop by and say hi, man. Me too, more coffee. So you want to be like Tweak, huh, bro? So I got a couple of studs in here. I might be able to get them in there. Well, welcome back. Yep. Oh, let's see. Hey, Boris, I'm live on YouTube. Thank you. 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 It's like, I put this out all over the darn place. I don't get anybody that comes on my stream. Like Steve, he was on the last time, but I don't know why he's not I don't know if he's a friend of mine on Facebook or not. I know he's a subscribed member. Let's see. I'm just going to type this stuff. Nope, it's typing every word that I said. Okay. Yeah, Randy doesn't go live. It doesn't go on the YouTube. Hey, Jeff, I'm live on YouTube. It's like I'm always doing, networking, trying to get people to come on, Hey, Randy, is that you? There's 3 people in here now. No, it's Pia. Hey, Pia, how you doing? Say hello to my little brother. You don't know if you're your own friend, bro? Really? Okay. Nope, somebody left. It was probably Pia's. I don't really push her to come in because, like she's got to rest, If she comes in, it's at her own free will. Yeah. I wouldn't want somebody waking me up in the middle of my sleep. Hey, lady, I want a ticket to Hawaii. Sound familiar? I just love it. All these people I've got, this is the funniest part of all. Ready for this? Watch this. Okay. On Facebook, I have 711 friends on Facebook. And how many people come to visit? It's like it was 715. I don't know where the hell it went, but maybe they just got fed up. You know what it is? It's probably those guys that were bullying me about, taking the engine apart while it was still in the car. It's PIA, bro, not PAI. Actually, I think she calls her name. I think she changed her profile thing to, what was it? PIPVIN, Pitvin or something like that. But I just call her Pia. That's what I've known her from. So that's how we work. So tomorrow it's supposed to be nice out, Pia. I might go out there and finish up the car. I already got it to fire off. Not fire off, but the compression test worked out very well. I had 75 to 80 pounds of pressure coming out of the number 1 cylinder. And the rocker arms are receiving oil from the oil pump from the oil pan. So that means everything in there is working properly. It's just a matter of me getting all the other garbage up top set. Let's see. Hey, Steve, you still here? if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, just text me there. I mean, say hi, on Facebook. That way I'll know who you are.
Does little goblin have a pet spider that looks like a turkey hand with legs? He did have, but little gob, shall we say, wore him out? Yeah, let's say that. Spiders can't take Goblin
Yeah, I can't even move that truck from where it is because it won't start up. It won't allow me to shift it in neutral or nothing. Just locked up. Tell you what, if they don't come through on their end, I'm going to actually, see about taking them to court for lemon laws because I never put any miles on that truck. I drove it once a week, or I drove it up to your house, bro. That was it. It don't even have 70,000 miles on it. That's all right, Mr. Flintstone. Crazy nut. Yeah. He's got his own thing too. He goes on what is it, Pal Talk or something like that, and plays music off of that. His friends stop by and they chat and hang out with him there. Sometimes I'll go in, but a lot of times I have, battery problems with the phone or something like that. That's why I had to get this laptop. So, just that way I can make things a little easier. I still haven't figured out how to make videos on this, but I managed to make the laptop my own now instead of it being like, signing on as a guest. So I've gotten that far at least anyway. 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. No, that's 14. Derp. Derpy derp. Let's put that over there. Ran into the funniest thing, Dan. Did you know you can go to Walmart and send money? That's how I got money today. The guy that I'm repairing his radio, the Claritone that's sitting in my living room, he sent $200. It's to buy the parts for the radio, but it's also, for the work that I did. Putting a cassette in there because one of them was taken out. The only thing that was left behind on it was the cassette wheels itself. So he needed a case, and a case that holds the motor, and there's a spring that pulls a record bar every time you press the button record. It has to lock into something on the case in order to get it to work. Then I got to solder a couple of wires and put some belts on after we find some decent motors. It needs 2 of them, top one and lower one, are both bad. Yeah. There's a 4th person in here, but they're not saying nothing. I don't know why. You can say hi, I don't bite. Anyway, so tomorrow what I plan on doing is rehooking back up the exhaust manifolds to the exhaust pipes, both sides, and then making sure the two bolts that go from the suspension to the frame rail, make sure those are back in. And then, well, I'm going to have to take off the harmonic balancer and heat it up so that way I can get it on there properly. I might have to probably clean it and maybe use some fine sandpaper in order to get any residual dirt out of there or whatever. And then put that back on. Then I can put the fan belt on, the radiator back on. And once the carburetor's on there, that's it. Points is new, in the distributor. The cap is decent. And just put the plug wires on and she should start up. Oh, I forgot the fuel pump. Fuel pump's got to be put on too. And I have brand new hose for that too. Because the old hose is like, rubber hose was like 20, 30 years old. Then the interior work begins. The fun on that. That's going to be real fun. Because, I got my own sewing machine here for it. But, then you got to cut templates out and everything else. You got to do measurements and make sure everything fits right. The headliner is going to be real fun. Because that's a whole different animal. Like each one of those poles that goes across is a different width from one another. So if you go from like the first one to the second one, it could be 6 inches. From the second one to the third one could be 5 inches. You know what I mean? So forth and so on. It could be really, you have to know. You have to know how far across it is. You have to leave a little bit extra so that way, you don't undercut. Because some of that stuff has got to be tucked up underneath. And then the fabric stuff that goes around the door frames, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And I got to figure out where the washer cleaner canister goes. Because somebody told me it's supposed to go in the fender, but I don't think so. I think somewhere along the line it's supposed to go right next to the master cylinder for the brakes up on the firewall. That's what I think. Could be wrong. And then, like I said, when the weather breaks, I'm going to repaint that car over again. This time it'll probably have about 3 coats. I think I only put like 1 coat on it the first time. But the pieces that were inside that go around the windshield, I actually took them out and hung them on a wire and on a clothesline and painted them, in the middle of summer. So they look decent. And then the side pieces, they look decent too. And there was a metal piece that went up underneath the steering column. And I took that off and I painted that, and all the window framings, I painted those too. So there's only a couple things that are missing for this car, and that's it. It'll be complete. One thing is the sill pans. They go below the doors, right in the door frames, Runner board moldings. I could have swore I have a pair of them somewhere here. Not for that car, but I'm sure I can fabricate them so that way they'll fit, The whole piece that goes on the bottom runner board is, the stainless aluminum or whatever steel it is. And I think I got a couple of them off of a 70 Chevelle Malibu. And I think the space is just wide enough between that car and the one I have, with a little left over. So I can go and look online and see somebody that has them on their car and pretty much size it up and, draw from memory and make them look just like the ones they have. Well, whoever it was, they left. They didn't stay long. coming up on an hour, folks. 59:59, 1 hour. Booyah. Okay. I always do that. I always, like, for some reason, my left leg, I fit it right underneath my right leg and sit down. But after a while, man, it's like I get pins and needles, like my foot fell asleep or my leg fell asleep. Took the chill off in here. That's good. At least it's not freezing anymore. Yeah, it's there, but see, like I posted it right here on Facebook. That's probably too much light. But nobody even liked it. I was like, okay, that's weird. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of wondering what's going on here, you know. You didn't have to retract that, Pia. It was the same thing last week. That's exactly what it was, you know. You know, the thing is, I didn't actually get that crazy this week like I did last week. You know, like I was online live and I was texting people on Facebook that I'm live, you know. So I was doing networking while I was on here. I'm just not, you know, I'm not really, I don't think I should have to, you know what I mean? I think I've more than proven myself. I got over 208 videos on YouTube, you know. Some of it's a little bit bitter because, you know, like I said, there was somebody who was sitting there making fun of me with the oil pan. Oh, well, it's all smashed up. You could still use it, but it'll be a quart less. What makes these people say that kind of stuff? You know, like, really? You think that I would leave it that way? You know? So I straightened out the oil pan and I got back with them and I turned around and I said something to the extent of 3 people that were, you know, backing me up at the time and all the other bullies or whatever you want to call it. You know, they just couldn't understand how somebody my size, my age, could get up underneath a car and on top of a car and disassemble everything and know how to put everything back together without an owner's or repair manual. Even though I have the repair manual, I just don't look at it because I remember how every nut and bolt goes back in. And as far as everything is concerned, there are no replacement parts on that car. They're all original. The head bolts are original. The ones that go inside and outside. I managed to get all the exhaust manifold bolts off without breaking any of the bend tabs or the bolts. That's a feat by itself because normally a car that's 50 years old, you know, the bolts would snap off, but not so, you know. Just got to take your time with it. You can't rush and, you know, do things just because somebody else wants to see something happen quicker because it's not to their liking or whatever. Hey, you know, you're working on something that's your own and you want to make sure that it's running properly. You don't want to sit there and have it running, you know, halfway and then, you know, everything just starts falling apart. Oh, that's right. I got change here too. Well, you hear it, don't you, Dan? Yeah. I have it turned down. Yeah, you see it. I know you see it. Yep. That's it right there. It kind of fills in the dead spots, you know, when there's nobody saying anything, you know. It's like I know I'm supposed to do a lot of the talking, but hey, somebody. I wish I wish this wasn't like. I wish it wasn't set up like Pal Talk. I wish like I could hear you. You know what I mean? That'd be great. Yeah, I know, and I have it way down. Like I'm talking louder than the TV, and the TV's at. You have that secondary volume control on the DVD player, and right now it's at. Well, it was at 6. It's at 5 now. So I like watching this old stuff. I just do. It's part of me. Yeah, I guess Steve left, and I don't see him on Facebook either because I thought let me check my friends. Maybe he is. Maybe I just didn't see it. Let's see. If anything, is going to be down towards the end. It's a lot of people to go through to find out who's who. Oh, you have it on your Roku. Cool. Ain't nothing wrong with it, A lot of people think that there is. Oh, look, you're like, wow, how old are you now? And you're still watching that baby crap? Like, no, it's not baby crap. It's part of what we were brought up on. And most of the time, I usually keep things on just because, it's kind of like soothing, I don't want to sit there and listen to hardcore music, and so I do this, I gotta make and eat dinner and wanna. Oh yeah, sure, bro. How long are you gonna stay? Oh, it's 8 now, so you'll stay till 9. Okay, that's fine. Are you gonna go live tomorrow or no? Yeah, I mean, you're only as old as you feel. If you feel like you're an old, I mean, I feel like I'm an old geezer, but that's besides the point. I just enjoy things. Other people don't. They don't know what it means. Let's see. What's the guy's name? Steve. What was his name? Duncan. NOPQR. I'm still under ours. Oh, okay. Are they aggravating you again or no? Yeah, that's all I watch, Pia. I've got all the old cartoons. I got all the old sitcoms too. I have Rocky and Bullwinkle, Pia. That's before my time, but I still remember it. Oh, okay. All right. No, he's not on my friends list. I don't know why. You know what? I'm going to add him since that's his name. All right. I'm going to go back. Let's see. I think I found him. I think. Yeah, he said. I think he said in the chat log that he had a 55, and that this guy has one. His name is spelled the same way. Hold on a second. Let me just scroll back up real quick. I want to see if his name is spelled right. Because if it is him, I'll add him right now. Duncan. Yep. Sure is. Hey, Steve, it's Rich220 from YouTube. That'll end that. Mm-hmm. Glug, 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 huh? Oh, Pia, this is kind of like, me and my brother were like this, when it comes to close knitness. Like, we have two sisters. We don't share the same bond with them as we do with each other, Him and I, my brother and I, we've been through a lot of crap together, So, hey, Pia, do you drive? You got a car? It'd be nice if some of these other guys stopped in my live, like Bayou, Angry Cajun TV, DD Speed Shop Dan from, there, Thomas Mortsky, from Mortsky Repair, Puddin's Fab Shop, even though he's really off the wall. He sounds like a hee-haw hillbilly hiccup. But that guy's got some brains. You should have seen what he did with one of the trucks. He ripped the whole front end off underneath, all the suspension. He made his own homemade suspension, by cutting metal and welding it and fitting it and everything else. But he does some weird stuff. Like I would never bag a small pickup truck, put airbags on it. I would never do that. I think it'd be causing too much hassle, Plus, if the yeah, I saw that, Dan Pebbles. LOL. Now there's only one person. No. Oh God, a baby contest. I have to change the disc though because I keep playing the same one over and over again. I think you're out in the living room. It was funny when I was sitting there watching what was it, the Bionic Woman, and it had the $6 Million Man, and I was like, okay, that's odd. And then of course it got what the hell is the other one? The Wonder Woman? I have that one too. It's not open yet. It's still closed. There's the Flintstones. It's up there on top of the UFO puzzle. Oh, okay. Oh, you have a motorcycle, Pia? You go ahead, girl. I hear you. I mean, it's not one of the things that I would do. I just, you know, the way people drive over here is insane, you know. But hey, if you can get away with that, go for it, you know. I think aren't the roads a little bit narrower out there than they are here, though? It's like driving on a country farm road or something. And like you can barely fit two cars on roads, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to retract that message. I don't know why you retracted it the first time. You should have just left it. I'm a running out of coffee. I'm going to have to make some more. Mm-hmm. See, I can't do the little skits like these people do, like Puddin's Fab Shop. He used to be like really into having his sandwiches, like Mortsky Repair. And when I mean sandwiches, I'm talking about brewskis. Oh, okay. And he gave that up. Puddin did. I don't know what his first name is. I know the other Mortsky. I know what his first name is, and Dee Dee's Speed Shop. Then of course you got Derek from Vice Grip Garage. But none of these people ever stop in to see me. I mean, I have to become extremely famous before they would even bother, you know? And with the way things are going, I don't see that happening. Yeah, well, the ham sandwich is not what you think it is, Dan. It's actually a beer. It's different flavors of beer from, like, you know, it could be Rheingold. It could be Lowenbrow, you know, that kind of stuff. He gets all them really old ones, you know, oddballs. Pennsylvania Dutch Brewery. There's all sorts of weird stuff. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a nice. Steve's got a nice 55. I mean, you know, he lives in Florida. He should have a nice one. Let's see photos. Yeah, but it's only got partial pictures. Where's like the rest of it? What the hell is that? No. All right, now. Somebody's got to teach this guy how to make pictures. He doesn't know how. He's got most of the car there. Oh, it's a 56. It's not a 55. He's got most of the car there, but the other tail light lens is chopped off, and you can't see the rest of the bumper in the front. So we got to teach this guy how to make some better photos. See, maybe if we do it this way. Nope, it's still cut off. See, I wish I could do this like live when I'm working on the car. You know what I mean? Like maybe tomorrow I can do that. You know, go outside and do a live stream like, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, just have the laptop on me so that way I can see what I'm doing. And, you know, it'll be easier to put the laptop on the fender because it won't fall in, you know. That little rinky-dink phone, man, if you don't have a stand for it, forget it. Like I got one of these. One of them broke. I had a smaller one, but this tripod here, you know, that'll hold the phone. But you don't really get a good angle with this one. And the bigger one, you have to actually have it sitting on top of another vehicle in order to get your angle pitch right, you know. And what the hell did I do with all that? All this stuff sitting over here, and I forgot where the hell I put it. Oh, there it is. Okay, that explains it. Very good. Okay, back over here. Okay. Let's see. Well, I can go here. Build back up this thing again. Heck yeah. Supposed to be a high of 53 here tomorrow. But Sunday 32. Yeah. But then you know what, bro? It's supposed to go back up again during the week. You know, it's like both the groundhogs, one saw its shadow, the other one didn't. So there's 6 weeks until spring. So we'll get 3 weeks of good weather and 3 weeks of crappy weather before it turns to spring. It's for all those superstitious people that actually believe in the groundhog. The Easter Bunny's coming to your house too. And so is Santa Claus. Yeah, Sunday's like icicles. Yep, exactly. So that's why, like, you know, on Sunday, my car is not going to be uncovered. I am not taking a chance of, you know, having things destroyed. I mean, I got enough work to do on it as it is already. I don't need more work, you know. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. So that's not that. I thought that was something else. What's that? Yeah, it's gonna be frigid. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's got a nice car. See, I like, you know, that's the thing is, like, a lot of the people that actually have the 57 Chevys or 55 to 55 through 57 Chevys, most of them paint the car black. Don't know why, but they do. I don't know if that's just, you know, a personal interest of theirs, or if it's like, yeah, that will all look cool that way. I'm like, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit, you know. And like me, what I did with mine, it's not, you know, Highlander green and surf green. It's white top with turquoise, you know. So, yeah, I don't know. You know, I think maybe we'll cut it a little bit early, Pia. What do you think? Because we're not getting any audience. I don't know what the hell's going on here. You know, I actually, what I do is I post it to Instagram. Like, you know, when you're gonna do a scheduled live, I'll make sure that it has a thing like you send it to Facebook news feed, or you could send it to a group, which I've done. You know, and you could do the Instagram thing where, you know, you could put it onto your story or whatever, you know. And then of course I do the short video, the short live or whatever, you know, telling everybody that I'm going to be online, but it's not working. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe Lord's upstairs going, this is not for you. You do not need to be on this, you know, or something. I don't know. But I'm just not getting the kind of audience or people I'd expect to get by now, you know. I mean, I'm not going to stop working on the car just because these people don't want to stop by and say hi or ask questions or something. I'm going to keep working on the car, and I'm going to keep posting videos because, I feel that, like I said, if you remember a while ago when I was going to do the timing chain or have a mechanic do the timing chain and gears on my car, he wanted $900. Okay. And my brother knows the guy that, the guy's name is Michael. Okay. And he told me about this guy named Frank, who was supposed to be the mechanic. And Michael said that Frank is a decent guy. He's not going to try and swindle you or whatever. I said, okay. So I asked him, I said, how much is it going to cost for me to have you do a timing chain on the car and a set of gears? Oh, $800 or $900. I'm like, really? And I've done timing chains before. I did it on a 50 Dodge. I did it on a 79 Thunderbird. I did it on a
HDMI 1R.
I did it on a 65 Fairlane 500. And it doesn't take 3 hours to do it, And no mechanic makes $300 an hour. Not even at today's inflated rate, I've actually worked with mechanics right up the street from my house, and they don't make that kind of money. So for him to sit there and say $900, I'm like, what are you telling me? You're getting paid $300 an hour, and you're telling me it's going to take 3 hours to do a timing chain instead of gears? How slow are you? And like I told everybody else, they saw me doing it. I had the timing chain still in the packet, and I said, well, today we're going to do this. And like an hour and a half later, it was done. It doesn't require that much. Yeah. And the thing is, the guy that told me about it, I've known him since he was a kid. And since I was a kid, like he used to do cars in his parents' backyard. Last car he did that I can remember was a Nova. It was like a 65 or 64 Nova, and it was red. And my brother knows who it is too. His name is Michael. He's friends with him as well. And he lived right behind my parents' house. So, but I don't think Michael knew the guy as much as he said he did. You know what I'm saying? And plus Michael's really getting up in his age now. So, things are not too good for him. And I wish they weren't so bad for him. I wish they were better for him. But, that's part of life. We all live, we all die. It sucks, but you can only do what you can do and try and live your life the best that you can, while you're here. God doesn't promise us tomorrow, Yeah. Well, like I said, and the next thing I knew where he was working at, what garage he was working at right down the street. And then a couple of days later, he wasn't there anymore. So apparently he wasn't doing too good of a job, or he was swindling other people out of money. And that's when I just went full torque, no, I'll do it myself. And I did everything myself, it took me a lot longer than I would have liked it to. But you got to remember too, I start work at 5:45 in the morning, and most of the times I don't get done till 4:30. And in the wintertime it gets dark quick up here. It doesn't stay light. And Wednesday nights I was working until 7:30. So that wasn't helping there either, And whatever time I did have on the weekends, most of the time I was sleeping because I was dead tired. You drive for 220 miles a day or more than that, and you're going to be tired, and my sleeping pattern was already messed up. I was sleeping a couple hours, waking up, going back to sleep. So, I wasn't really, my body wasn't recharging itself, wasn't recuperating. Thank you, P. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, but ultimately, like I said, the thing is I was just trying to My whole point in this was literally to try and help, like, somebody that might be interested in it. We ain't talking about you. We're talking about me now. He knows I do that from time to time because he used to do that to me. He said, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. But, yeah, that's the reason why I did it, is because I wanted to, you get some younger generation that might be interested in working on the cars. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know anything about it. They don't have any mechanical ability. Well, if they're visually perceptive, okay, and they could see what the part looks like when they're taking it apart, they'll remember putting it back together the same way. Now, see, like that 57 Chevy, like I said, it's 12 years before my time, okay? And I never thought I would actually get that far with taking an engine apart and putting it back together, okay? But my thing was, I remember how everything came off, and there are different parts. Believe me, there are a lot of different parts. The heads itself, they have bolts that are like this long, and then you have bolts that are like that long, that go on the outside of the head. And they're different sizes inside the head, too. There's like, ones that are a little bit smaller than others, and some of them are bigger, The timing chain cover, it had flathead screws. The valve cover had Phillips head screws, but the screws look the same. They're the same size. Let's see. Yeah, and then you had the intake manifold bolts. They look about the same as the bolts that are outside of the head, attached to the block. But they're just different sizes. One's like 9/16, the other one's 5/8. But the thing is that all the parts, excuse me, all the parts that I took off of it, they were all for a certain thing. They weren't like, they didn't work anywhere else. So you either knew what you were doing or you wound up with a lot of extra parts. You should stop streaming. I think you need to give it a little more time to build it up. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to stop because, like I said, my whole point in this wasn't to, it's not an Omar Garsh or a thing or a Jasco thing or what the hell is it? James the Fam. Okay. I'm not trying to swindle people out of money. And I'm sure as hell not doing the rolling with me ghost stories that are fraudulent and fake. Because I've already proven that factor to be fraud. Okay. And I remember Omar sitting there talking about, well, people that, come to my live stream, they think they're entitled to my money. No, pal. He was going around thinking he was entitled to their money. And he still thinks that way. And so does all his little group clique people, So, but that's why I don't associate with them, because I don't believe in that. I'm not here to try and take money from people. I'm here to try and help the younger generation, if they're visually perceptive, to be able to do mechanical things themselves without paying a high-priced mechanic to do it for them. Don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty or a little grease underneath your fingernails. If you do, that's the way you're going to be in life, afraid of everything. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. And, even though I was receiving a lot of flack from people on Facebook, well, you should have used the engine hoist in order to pull it out. I didn't have one. I have one now, but I didn't have one then. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. But the thing is, like, until I'm dead or I'm in the hospital, I don't care how fat I am. You know, I don't care how out of shape I am. You know, even if it takes longer, I'm still going to get up underneath cars. You got to admit, I've actually done this a lot longer than our old man did. You know, I remember when he took the engine out of the 1970 Impala and had it laid on paper in the dining room. I remember that. I don't forget that shit, you know? And then we watched him doing starter panels for years, you know? And then what the hell was the other one? The transformer boxes. You know, the gray boxes were the transformer boxes, and he always used to jab himself in the hand with the Phillips head or flathead screwdriver. Yep. See, a lot of people in our family, bro, didn't know that I had those abilities. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people didn't know, like, when I came back up here before, you know, our situation where we, you know, got you situated, Mom turned around and told me that I didn't even graduate 5th grade. That's what she said. She said I was stupid. That's pretty much what she told me to my face. And I told her, I says, I have my high school diploma. I do. It's right here on the wall. Okay. And I told her, I says, first of all, she goes, oh, well, you were given that, you know, diploma so you can get out of school. I said, no, that's not it. No. When I was up in Pennsylvania, I took the test and it was sent back to the high school. And my diploma and my tassel was sent to me. And I said, and that's the reason why what you're saying just doesn't hold any bearing anymore. And I said, in order to go to college, you need high school transcripts, or you did, you know, even just to get into a 2-year, what the hell they call it, community college. You needed high school transcripts. And I said to her, I said, that's what I had to have. And that's why I went to college for 2 years. I took up English Comp 1. I took up art. You know, I took up art 3, art major 3, and a couple other courses. You know, I was a full-time student. So for her to sit there and tell me that I was a 5th grade, you know, dropout was kind of like, ye have so little faith. You know what I mean? The biggest problem is a lot of people that knew who I was when I was a child did not know me as an adult. They don't want to, you know, because they're going to wind up seeing that I'm not the same person that they knew when I was a child. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's true. And I love you too. You know, you're my brother. We got a bond that regardless of, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, I mean, that's all there is to it. You know, we stuck together throughout all of it, you know, even though I left and came back, you know, I haven't changed that much up here, but maturity wise, I have, you know. So, you know, I like to take on, and then the thing is like I've always said to you, bro, everything that ever happened to me that was bad, I somewhere along the line learned to put it on the stove on the back burner. And I've said to myself, I'm not going to allow this to affect my life. I'm not going to allow this past to eat away at my brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do what I have to do in order to, you know, and at least make something out of my life. I'm not going to sit there and, you know, constantly think about what they did, what they did, what they did, what they did. That's not the point in life. You know, your point is for you to do for yourself and for you to be happy with your life, not to be depressed and, you know, and aggravated, you know, or at least try and live the best life that you can. And I thank you too, Pia. Yep. I've known you for a little while on Instagram, so it's always good to have people, friends are a good thing. Family members are good too. When you can, when you can have that certain, bond with them. Some people you just can't. And I hate to say it, but I have two sisters and they've had kids and everything else, and they chose to not make me part of their lives. So that's on them. That's not on me. I'm not going to sit there and try and defend myself for something that I had nothing to do with, you know. I've made attempts, but yeah, we were supposed to collaborate. Angry Cajun, Bayou. Yep. Yep. And then that just went south. You know, he was looking for a trailer. I had one, remember? Told him I had a 28 footer in my driveway. He keeps telling me how much he loves the 57 Bel Air. But I don't know if he's married or not, or if his wife passed away, or if he's divorced and he's got custody of the kids. I have no idea. But he has never introduced his wife. I know he has kids. I've seen his son because his son is actually, one of the persons that was on his live chat. Yeah, my brother and I, we used to like this when we were kids. They had a parking lot right across the street from like where our bedroom window was. And we'd sit out there and watch these people pull their cars in and everything else. My brother and I both liked this blue 69 Chevelle that this guy had. It had a black top and it had the Kragers on it. And it was midnight metallic blue. You know what I mean? And we always thought that car was the cat's meow. That car was like, the big deal up there. Yeah, I try, bro, and then, like I said, when I do get aggravated, like sometimes I've made recordings and I've gotten aggravated. Well, that just ruined the whole recording because I'm not going to post that on YouTube. I don't need somebody to see my side when I'm getting aggravated because, like I told you before, I'm working on things over and over again and I'm getting nothing done. You know what I mean? That's when it's very disappointing. Oh, okay. Well, I'm divorced too, Pia. I don't have any kids though. I have the house that my wife and I had because she couldn't afford it. She was too much into a lot of other crap, and she would have literally been in foreclosure a month or two after she, got divorced from me. So, I took the house. It's my house. It's not hers. She has no rights over anything on it anymore. And everything that's inside the house and outside the house doesn't belong to her. It belongs to me only. All right. I think we're going to end this, bro. Pia, I think we're going to let this go for the night. I'll try again. Maybe I can, I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous. I've never seen this low unless people are bad mouthing me or something. I have no idea. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it quits. That way you can rest, Pia, and I know Dan, you want to make something to eat, and you want to do your thing. So we've been on here for almost 2 hours. That's good enough. All right, let's call this a night. We'll try this again in the near future. Yeah, I'll try it again next week. I'll try it again on Friday. You know, Dan, are you going to do it next? Are you going to do your pal on Friday, or are you going to do it on Saturday? Because I don't want you to stop what you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. And I might be able to get on there now with this because, you know, it's not the cell phone. The only thing I'm getting is, you know, the reception from the phone. All right, bro. Love you too. Pia, I'm going to call it a night. And whoever else was in here or still in here, thanks for stopping by. I know Steve. I already added him on Facebook, so it's just a matter of him responding back. And I'll talk to you again too, Pia. And you have yourself a good night. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you soon. Oh, Tuesday night? All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for being here. Thanks for you two supporting me with this. And I'll see you next week. Okay?